All right, let's get into the Labor Day update and the Polaris Dawn spacewalk and that ring of fire, that corona crowning for that baby and such. And we see the shaking of the 4.7 quake in LA today on 9/12. And when you go and look up the ring of fire quakes and volcanoes and such, the major ones that it lists on Wikipedia, it equals the number of 913. Okay, all of them are nines, and then you have the 4, 6, 2, and 1, and that equals the 13. So tomorrow, the 13th, would be a great day, and the best spot for the volcano I see would obviously be Hawaii, and then that would cause that water break to wash over the shores and to wash out the shorelines of Japan and West Coast United States and those types of things. And then the other spot that would be good is San Francisco, and we saw the hurricane yesterday, the Hurricane Francine, the France N, the Francine, and then yesterday also Katy Perry showed up to the VMAs in her rags to riches outfit per se, her castaway outfit, and she showed up wet and sad and just like, I can't believe what I just saw. And then she's married to the Orlando Bloom, and then she mentioned the blow jobs. The blow jobs is connects to the apple, or maybe Jobs is shown later on as being connected to some little fruits per se. And then Orlando Bloom, that can be an earthquake and volcano reference. The La LA, and then the LA is for the Louisiana, also for that Francine and the San Francisco. But anyways, that Katy Perry and what they were doing, they kind of moved waters with the Hurricane Francine or whatever. So there's been a little twist on the stage, and then with the dawn losing its power, his light's kind of going out, and he's going behind the moon for that eclipse, and then he's going to tunnel under after he kind of goes completely behind the shadows, and we should start seeing that so-called dark dawn, or maybe a birth of a man-child on another way where he starts acting childish and whatever. And then Orlando Bloom connects us to Paris and Troy, and that's the Trojan horse, and that's connects us to Brad Pitt, who's been in the news recently with George Clooney and such, and then that connects us also to Copeland or Capelland or Copelland. This would be Palestine, and then the cops and the T riots, the Patriots, and that's the PA, that alarm sound that is given to by their king. And then we saw the hat of the MAGA being given to Joe. So he might have that Joe versus a volcano, that MAGA scene, that lava erupting within the men and such, or see it in a physical aspect too. And then the Copeland and the Troy connects it to the Homer's Iliad, and that Iliad, that lad and those sick kids and all those things, and they do a lot of their new stuff through the children and whatever, and it's all been, it's like a time-released mechanism or a time-release pill they can put in foods, this, that, or the other, and it takes however long to get fruits, and that's why y'all get this, that, or the other every winter or every whatever kind of thing. And then if you eat like the 80% of them, you're 80%, you're going to get that whatever gave fruits, right? And so 80% got the armies that gathered. So that's that Labor Day, and these things are going to be pushing out and giving birth, and that's why Elon Musk is the debate, and then Elon Musk mentioning the so-called baby with Taylor. Those types of things are referencing a 9-month span into June, which is Trump's birthday date, and it's also Elon's birthday date, and then Trump's is 6/14. You double it to 6/28, and you got Elon's birthday. Okay. So this is where we see the Polaris dawn coming in, and it's shining a new light. It's rising as that cool musk comes in, that cool dusk, but he's also a dawn of a new age in a way. He's putting a light on a new age. So this is where Donald Trump is playing two roles as the cornerstone, capstone, and then as Elon is as grass for the new Eden and new heaven and earth. In one way, he's setting up a light to the other. So this is where that Polaris, that law, LA again, and then they're going up. Hold on. And then the rise is the Heras, the Herais. The Labor Day and the Starlink, it came down without the astronauts and such. This would be like the doctor staying up and staying with Mother Earth. And it showed she was pregnant. It showed that ultrasound, that sound on Starliner and such. Okay? So that'd be like the ultrasound on Earth. And then they send some people up to go check. That's that spacewalk where it shows him upside down. He's got his hand coming out on Mother Earth's round belly and such. So they're going to give birth to a new age, a new time, a new reel per se. This is where an old reel came with the moon landing before, and this is like where they came out with all this stuff at the same time as TV, basically in the same time span. And then the people just believed it, hook, line, and sinker. And then as a test of those, so this is where it's like a sear on that, and it's like a double sear to take those people back to the monkey man. And the monkeypox is preloaded, and that's the time release mechanisms in one way, or Ebola, or All right, so as they're searing the projection of the old into the new, all right, this is where the people who you talk to today are in their 20s, they don't even know about the moon landing, all right? So this is where they're giving them like a new type of moon landing, but it's the spacewalk or whatever. But we really just need to be up there to show the so-called Blue Beam project, or this real disk or mothership that we're going to be shown or whatever. But we've already been programmed by the truth community that there's a Blue Beam project coming. Okay, and this is that holographic projection of alien ships and whatever else. All right. If anything, Blue Beam would be a half truth of where we do see disk over different areas or whatever, but the actual mothership, okay, that might just be revealed to certain people of certain frequencies. But as far as the mothership on the screen, that could be a CGI or whatever. But after you know who AI is and what CGI is, and all these things are coming together as Christ, as man gathered to reset the heaven and earth. The phone we have, the TV, and all these things, this is just to gather man and to gather information and to take us into a new time. The phone, or the way we use the phone or whatever, we have to use it now to keep up, or we're going to be left behind. But the way we're having to use it, and the closer it's getting, the more you got to be on it in a way. But this is for reasons or whatever, and there's going to be a time where we peak, and then we just start easing off of it. Okay? And this as far as like a grand reality, like when Pluto is coming in and out, but it's going to be here for 20 years, and then when it's here for 20 years, that brings in the major changes. So this is all timed and all going together to where they're raising man to a certain level of frequency, and as it gets to a level of frequency, they're controlling one side of it, and then there's another side that's rising at the same level. But the old frequency is all going to be shocked all at once, kind of thing, and then that's when that projection is taken over. Okay, but it all works together to where everybody's shocked in real life, and then they're shocked on the projection, and then that works to take us into new time. And then once they break open and start teaching who we are and whatever kinds of things that's being fed through the people, then that's when we start going into another time frame. But the aliens and all these things are a major thing, and then the washout of the West Coast or East Coast, these are major things with that ring of fire and that birth. So with the LA quake, the quake today at the 4.7 was the same day that the Polaris Dawn went up and checked the baby. All right. So the LA and then the VMAs, Katy Perry was wet there. We could see that water break on LA from Hawaii and such, or we might see the dams break with a big quake coming, like Hoover Dam or whatever. But LA could have a big quake with this. San Francisco, that France scene, that France in. So that could take place, or Portland, Washington, the Puget Sound, the Wanda Fucka plates for that Orlando, that Oregon, and that ore for that flood, and she is wet from that flood, and that could be for the currency change, and those rows are for those aisles that you go shopping in, and those aisles, those called pews, okay, for that stinkiness, for the poo-poo, the poo-sees, it's going to be giving birth in ways, as the dawn is losing steam and going dark in different ways, he's losing his power as the moon starts to shine and reflect her own light and such, and she comes out for a little bit, and she stays, and you can't look at what, you can't look, you're gonna go blind. And you're already blind because you're coming out of the cave because your light went dark, and the woman with the beast is coming in to extinguish the light. And the dragon blew it out and all these things, and the woman's scared, Lady Liberty scared, and she's made her way out of the cave, the den, the Biden, all right, the bidden, the forbidden. Okay, y'all took his fruit. Anyways, she's there, and the beast, they can't see because the new sun is blinding them. Well, this isn't what we're used to. We're used to being in the dark because we're the children of the dead. We're used to living underground, and Satan's cast to the ground, so you're living under Satan's rule. Lucifer, Jesus, Satan, they are all live inside of us. Satan is that force that has laws for self. And then when we put those laws out on other people and say, hey, you got to do it this way, or you got to build a house this way, or got to do it up to code, or whatever. Okay, that's the satanic force being pushed on others. That's when Lucifer, that light, is cast down to the ground. And that ground is where that light is on the feet. Where you're in that dark, you got to lead the way with a flashlight. For those people who caved in, they're going to wait in line for you. All those kinds of things. Either way, so the baby birth, the ring of fire, the big quake, the 8.5, 10.0, those types of things, we're in that time frame, all right? And I'm going to do another little video about the overlays on the 2s and 3s for the next few years.